So the next diorama I want to do is the swamp, but before I do that, I think I need a few more denizens. Fortunately, something very exciting came in the mail. As you may have guessed from the thumbnail, I bought a Miscast toad, but it also came with a couple of neat goodies. I mean, look at these. Look at that one. The toad himself. Ooh, he's so blue. I want to try my hand at molding and casting this dude, but I'm actually moving house right away. So we're gonna go on a little journey across the country. And we made it! Thanks for indulging me in that silly travel montage. I'm so excited to make a whole bunch of you! And I did. Okay, so this is not a tutorial by any means. I just wanted to share my experience and some of the things I found important for molding and casting your first miniature. I wanted to make things as simple as possible for myself. That's a big reason why I chose this toad. This model really lends itself to a dump mold, which is arguably the simplest mold going. If you have something that's generally widest at the base and sits flat, this method works great. Now, something I can't emphasize enough is to read all the instructions. Like, there's some pretty important safety precautions in there, as well as some tips to get good casts. The mold is made using this 2-part silicone rubber, and the one I'm using has a really long pot life, which means I don't need to rush at all. The mix ratio for part A and B is just 1:1 by volume, which makes it super easy to measure. Oh yeah, I forgot to put on gloves. This silicone also doesn't usually require degassing, which is great because vacuum chambers are expensive and I don't have one. However, air bubbles really are the enemy of the whole process. I found these tips on the Smooth On website and they were pretty helpful. I stippled on a thin layer of the silicone to catch some of the deeper details, and then I poured the rest of it from high up so that there's a long, thin stream. This hopefully pops most of the bubbles on the way down. So I wasn't originally going to use a pressure pot, but I found one secondhand for a great price, so I figured I'd give it a go. But if you're planning to cast in a pressure pot, it's also recommended to cure the silicone mold under pressure too. So that's what I did. I knew I could do this pretty safely without fear of the model getting crushed as well, because it was cast under pressure. Look at that! Look at that. So a little while after making the toad, I tried making other molds for some little pieces of scatter terrain, but I didn't cure the mold in a pressure pot. This is the difference between casting that mold under pressure and not under pressure. Obviously, you can make some decent copies without using a pressure pot at all, but if you are going to use one, Silicone better be degassed or cured under pressure. Been wanting to try casting miniatures for a number of years now. Miniatures are expensive. The idea of making a horde of goblins just from one mini is enticing. I think everyone in the hobby has these kind of thoughts at some point or another. I've been reluctant to try because it seemed complicated and overwhelming and potentially expensive. But I think what gave me the final push was watching my favorite YouTubers try it out, and I'm so glad I did. I made a whole bunch of these little toads, and every time I popped one out of the mold, I was so excited.
Voila! Oh yeah.
Anyways, I've been talking like non-stop for a while now, so let's wrap this up. This project was really fun, and I want to share a little bit of that joy with you people. My channel just recently reached 100 subscribers, which might not sound like a lot, but it's way more than I expected after being on YouTube for just over a month. So as a thank you, everyone who comments on this video will have a chance to get a free toad. I'll pick a random comment in a week or so and send you a toad, no strings attached. Thanks again, you're all awesome. See ya!